Protests have been taking place in some European cities against Turkey's operation in Syria. Let's go to the German capital, Berlin, and speak to our correspondent, Yunus Paksoy. So what's happening there, Yunus?
Adnan, let me clearly tell you what's happening here in Berlin. Whilst Turkey is being sharply criticized for its military offensive in northern Syria, pro-PKK and pro-YPG demonstrators are given a free ride in the German capital. I was at Hermann Square in Berlin at around 3 p.m. local time, and hundreds of people in favor of the YPG and PKK gathered there, and they had their YPG and PKK flags in their hands, and this all happened under the protection of the German police. They shouted slogans like "Terrorist Erdogan" with reference to the Turkish president, and they also called Turkey a murderer state. So this was clearly against Turkey's military operation in northern Syria, Operation Peace Spring. And this organization, this demonstration was organized by the umbrella network of the PKK. So it is clearly known who organized this demonstration, but it was still allowed in Germany, in the German capital, and also across the country today. We've seen dozens of demonstrations in favor of the PKK, in favor of the YPG, and against the Turkish state and NATO ally. Such demonstrations also took place in past years, and we've seen it in Germany with the alliance of the police and the German state, and this has created in the past such a huge diplomatic crisis between the two countries. But as it seems now, just we've seen at Hermann Square today at 3 p.m. local in Berlin, that German state has not changed its stance towards the PKK and its relations with Turkey.
In the past couple of days, some EU nations have said that in protest at Turkey's operation in Syria, they're not going to sell any more weapons to Turkey. I understand Germany has now joined that group of EU countries that's going to do the same.
Interestingly, as I was at the demonstration, pro-YPG demonstrators were calling on the German government to stop arms exports to Turkey, and just as they were calling on the German government to do so, the German government delivered. We read today in a German newspaper called Bild that the German foreign minister announced that Germany will not give permissions to new arms contracts to Turkey. Actually, just as Turkey was conducting its military operation in northern Syria 2 years ago in Afrin, this was a talk in the German capital. So many parties were pressing on that issue, and they were calling on the German government to stop the arms exports to Turkey. And this will be realized, as it seems, in the upcoming days. But we know that Turkey, just as this was declared by the German government, Turkey has announced the production of a short-range air missile defense system. And we know that Turkey's last couple of operations in northern Syria have been conducted with equipment that were indigenous. So it was about 70% of all equipments were Turkey produced. So it also looks like it will not quite be the detriment of Turkey in the upcoming period.
Our correspondent in Berlin, Yunus Paksoy. Thank you so much, Yunus.